To your community focus at 4, lawmakers heading back to Smith Hill next month, and joining us to talk about the big issues they will be tackling, and there's a lot of them. House Speaker Joe Shekarchi, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Speaker, I want to start with something that you and I spoke about right here on 12 News at 4 a little while ago, a potential fall session to discuss legalizing recreational marijuana. It's now December. What happened?
We're still not there. We've worked very hard and we'll continue to work. There were a lot of differences in the versions between the House version, the Senate version, the governor's version. I am happy to report that we've worked down to almost one issue that's left, but it's not there yet. I have another meeting next week. I hope to wrap it up. I expect you'll see that in the first quarter of 2022.
What's the sticking point?
It's the regulation over who's going to regulate it. Is it going to be an independent cannabis commission, or is it going to be under DBR, or maybe some combination thereof, or some hybrid version of it? So we're looking at right now, we're studying other states, but the marijuana bill in general is a very complicated piece of legislation. People just say legalize it. It touches very different areas of the law. It touches taxation. We have to make sure that we're doing it right, so we have taxation weigh in, DBR, the Department of Health, and the judiciary as well, because we're talking about some kind of a expungement process that would be built into the bill as well. So it's a very comprehensive bill. It's a very thick bill, and it's in a lot of different areas of law, and I want to make sure we do it right. I've always said I don't necessarily want to be the first. I want to be the best.
On Monday, something we reported right here, the governor, you, the Senate president, talked about how some money is being allocated, about $30 million for affordable housing. Right now, there's a group of protesters for at least a week now have been camping out basically on the front steps of the State House. What would your message be to them? They say we can't wait for a process. Help is needed now for this group of people.
So help is here, help has been here, and help is there. There is a lot of things that we did in the General Assembly session that we authorized in July 1st and no one's talking about, but we have $25 million that the House did and the Senate did in the budget from the Housing Production Fund that's available to them right now. We have an additional $6 million in the budget called a program called Pay for Success, specifically targeted toward 150 or so chronic homeless people in Rhode Island. That hasn't been accessed and used. In addition to that, we've created a funding stream to create permanent funding regarding sales of high-end homes for that. And just this past week, the governor released another $5.5 million of CARES Act money, or maybe it might have been 10 days ago, of CARES Act money. So there's plenty of money available to help this problem, and it's being utilized. It's not getting a lot of publicity. And even in Kim's hometown, in my hometown, we have the Nilo Hotel, which is housing 150 homeless people, and there's some room for more. But it doesn't get the publicity that people want for their reasons. But the help is on the way, and there's plenty of money in the system right now to address this issue. But it's a long-term problem. We're not going to solve it overnight, and it's a very complicated problem. There's a lot of other issues that go along with homelessness. There's mental health issues, there's substance abuse issues. Those things need to be addressed as well. I wish it was as easy as people are saying it. If it was that easy, we would have gotten rid of homelessness a long time ago.
I know we have a report coming up on the Nilo Hotel in specifics a little bit later. I want to shift gears a little bit. There's been some controversy about the $3,000 COVID-19 vaccine bonus that's being offered to some state workers. Just a short time ago at his press briefing, the governor said tying that bonus to the vaccine was a, quote, misstep. Do you share that view, and had you expressed that to him before today?
I have not expressed my view on that. The negotiation of contracts is under the exclusive control of the executive branch of the governor and the government. I have no control. The General Assembly has no control over the contracts and what the negotiated. It's an evolving process. I don't know exactly what the governor said in the last hour. I will get a briefing on it, and we will monitor the situation and see where it goes. We don't have a role to play in this, so we're waiting to see what the ultimate end product is, and hopefully we'll get the details just as you're getting them.
But just in general, I mean, your own Deputy House Speaker, Charlene Lima, said it was a bad precedent to tie a bonus to getting the vaccine. Do you share that view?
I keep an open mind. I learn not to comment until I know all the facts, and all the facts aren't in right now.
Very lawyerly of you.
Well, that's the way I want to know everything before I comment, but there will be a process, and we will certainly know that, and the public should know that. As happened today, as you just reported, it's evolving, it's changing. So when we ultimately know where they end up on it, then we'll be able to make a judgment call on it.
And just quickly on the topic of indoor mask wearing, the governor was asked repeatedly this afternoon whether he's considering re-implementing the indoor mask mandate. Do you think he should?
I think we should follow the science and whatever the Department of Health recommends. I will tell you that I am vaccinated. I am also boosted, and I recommend everybody to do that. If this COVID strain increases, unfortunately, in a negative way, and they recommend mask mandates, I'll follow them, and I encourage everybody else to do so. It really comes down to whatever the science calls for. If the science is recommending us to wear mask mandates, if that's what the Department of Health, then I'll follow that recommendation.
The leaders of the hospitals in Rhode Island are saying, yes, there should be an indoor mask mandate.
I listen to them, and I understand that they're in a critical situation. We had a call, our office had a call with them on Tuesday of this week. It was very, very serious what's going on. I'm not necessarily sure of all the details. It might be a severe staffing issue, and I understand why they may call for that, but ultimately we'll follow what the Department of Health says.
All right. House Speaker Joe Shekarchi, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. A pleasure to be here, and I'd welcome to come back whenever you want me.
Fantastic.
Thank you.